All right, hi everybody. Today's video is on the 7 things that are killing your progress and your fitness, your goals, your physique, your strength, your health, all these sort of things. So the first thing that you don't know that you're doing that is affecting you is lack of stress management, not being able to manage your stress effectively. So stress, okay, can be perceived in a variety of different ways. I will be making a post on perception of stress because stress is really important to manage, knowing how to think about it, knowing how to approach it, how to deal with it, so to speak, in work, in career, in a work career, in your training, in relationships, in the weather. Knowing how to manage this stress on your body is really important because it's affecting you more than you think. And I think that if you're, for example, if you're a student, you're studying to be a doctor or you're studying to be a professional, you're going to have stress. And even if you think that you're not stressed, you are stressed because you need to have some sort of pressure to excel and to succeed. And in anything you're going to do, you're going to need to put that pressure on yourself and that stress to do well. And that's what's needed to grow and evolve in life, right? But how you manage it and how you perceive it is ultimately what determines whether or not you're going to die, survive, or thrive. Okay, and how you thrive is through stress management. Okay, so having a program or a system in place that helps you manage your stress is really important. Okay, so the second thing that is killing your progress is arrogance, thinking that you know everything when you don't. So I've been in this industry for about 8 years, well, a little over 8 to 10 years now, and I'm still learning. It doesn't really matter what your age is in any industry, you will always keep learning because life is about learning. Life is about evolution. Life is about growth. And if you think you know everything, that is the fastest way to making sure that you fail. It's self-limiting and it's only going to hurt you in the long run. I always believed in having an open mindset, especially when it comes to educating yourself. If you want to be better and be the best at anything, you have to keep an open mind. And those that don't keep an open mind are going to be seen as very, very arrogant. So if you need help or you need to figure out why you're not seeing progress, then maybe you should look into finding somebody that's a professional in the field that you're looking to expand in, ask for their help, and listen. Shut your mouth, listen to what they have to say, and do what they say, right? And if things change because you're doing things that you weren't normally doing, because you weren't doing what you needed to do to see the change, then you have got the answers to your problem. But that would never have happened had you stayed arrogant. The next thing that's killing your progress is making excuses, as things such as I don't have enough time, or I'm too busy, or what have you. You can get a very effective workout in under 1 hour or more, 45 minutes to be exact, if you know how to go about it. I used to do it and it works. You're very limited on the equipment that you can do, but it works if you know how to do it. So having a plan and being very good at managing your time, that's what it's about. It's not about whether or not you have time. It's about whether or not you're going to make the time. Everybody has 24 hours. Everybody says the same thing. We all have 24 hours, yet some people seem to have the nerve to say that they don't have enough time, as if there's someone so special. Well, you do have enough time. The real question is whether or not you're willing to make the time to reach your goals. Next thing that's killing your progress is not getting quality food. So I used to train people where people would lie about what they eat. They would say that they're eating this when they're really not, and they expect to get a result out of their body, and they're eating crap. If you're gonna put crap in your body, you're gonna get crap out. You're gonna eat Cocoa Puffs for morning, you're gonna get out of that what you're putting in. And if you don't like healthy foods, then you need to figure out a way to eat these healthy foods. There's no way around it. There's no gray in this. It's either black or white. Either you're gonna do it or you're gonna stay where you are and look pathetic. The choice is yours. So if you're gonna invest in your food and not invest in your diet, and you expect to see changes, know that it's not going to happen, and you're really just wasting your time. So you have to invest, make that decision to make that lifestyle change. And it's about how bad do you want it. Do you want to stay pathetic? You want to stay looking like a loser, feeling like a loser? No, you most likely don't. But if you're not aware of the fact that you're probably settling for that, then maybe you need to look at yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, is this something you really want? Because this is a lifestyle and a diet and exercise routine that takes commitment, hard work, dedication, and discipline. It takes time and a desire to actually be who you want to be. It's not going to happen with eating Cocoa Puffs and ice cream for dinner every night. This next one is killing your progress. It's one of my favorites. I talk about it a lot on my Instagram stories, which if you watch my stories, I talk a lot about psychology and the power of your mind and your subconscious mind. So there's a saying that you're the average of the 5 people you hang around with. So if the 5 people you hang around with suck and are losers, you're going to be the 6th one. And if you don't think you are, you're probably going to be that sooner or later. I think it's so important to be careful with who you surround yourself with. If you want to do well in this field, not in this field, but you want to do well with your fitness and your physique and your body and your health, then you have to be around people that are doing that. Whether that means being around people mentally through earphones, or being physically in a gym where there's people that are better looking, doing better things than you. But you have to put yourself in that situation. For example, you do not see a flower in a horrible environment and see it thrive. It just doesn't work that way. You don't see a beautiful flower in the freezing cold and see a bloom. No, you see the beautiful flower blooming in the sunshine with the nice clouds, with the birds chirping, with good vibrations, good energy around it. That's just how life is. That's how things are. You are who you surround yourself with. You are a member of the flock that you choose to fly with. And if you're going to choose to hang out with losers and to hang out with people that don't invest in their body, you will soon be guilty by association, right? So you have to be careful who your friends are. Be careful who you listen to. Be careful what books you read. Be careful what TV shows you watch. Stop listening to the news, for example. All these things are affecting you subconsciously, whether you know it or not. Subconsciously, it's going to affect you. So you have to be very careful. If I'm around a situation or people that I don't want to be around, I put my headphones in. If I don't have the opportunity to put my headphones in, then I'm very careful with what I listen to or how I train my mind if I'm around these people, right? Because it can affect you and it can really bring you down if you're not careful. Even if somebody says to you, let's say somebody says to you, oh, you're not worth anything, you suck. And even if you don't believe that, that's going to affect you subconsciously in the back of your head, and you have the power to control it though. And it starts with whether that means moving out of that house that you're living in that sucks and the environment is not good, right? Maybe you live in a situation that's not the best. You need to figure out a way to get out immediately because it's going to hurt you more than you think. If you can do that, great. If you're already out of a situation, you're not living in a household where things aren't holding you back necessarily, but maybe you have friends maybe you're doing well, but your friends are not doing well, and you're hanging out with those people that are not doing well, you are limiting yourself, right? If you're trying to get abs, you're trying to build nice arms, you're trying to build a nice body, whatever it is, and you're around people that are not doing the same, you're going to be the next person that's going to fall into their trap. And in case no one told you, I'm telling you right now, it's a basic science. You are who you surround yourself with. So be careful who your friends are, what your environment is. You know, some people say that if you want to be like, hardcore, whatever, you need to go to like a good hardcore gym and what have you. And I would agree, but I also would disagree because I think that you are in control. Not everybody has access to these hardcore gyms. And, I didn't have access to that for a while. And I always just focus on me, laser focus, have this tunnel vision to execute what I set my mind on. And that's what I can control as my work ethic, because you can't control what people are doing around you. People around you suck, that's their problem, right? But you have to focus on yourself, because that's really the only thing you can control in this life, is how you perceive the situation and how you carry yourself. I think that's killing your progress is self-sabotage. So if you think that you're not good enough, or imposter syndrome, or that you don't have what it takes, or you don't have the genetics or whatever it is, that is hurting you. You got to stop that negative self-talk. That goes back to what I was saying earlier about you are a product of your environment. These things about yourself, you're sabotaging your progress, you're sabotaging how you look and you feel. It looks like you are actually in bad company, right? Because you are in company with yourself. So you got to get out of that head space and learn, try to seek out help from external sources, right? The only way you're going to grow and change if you're in bad company is if you find somebody that is in a better place than you and have them pour into you. That's really the only way that you're going to get out of your own head, or you focus on meditation and self-centered focus to make that change, right? But stop self-sabotage, stop sabotaging your progress, sabotaging the fact that maybe you've already lost 5 pounds, or you gained some muscle, or your strength went up 10 pounds or 100 pounds or what have you. But these are little progress that when you add it up over weeks and months and years, it adds up really quickly. And it's not always, I always say, it's not whether you win or you lose, it's whether you win. But sometimes it's not whether you win or you lose, it's whether or not you just don't give up and you just keep going. Because that's really what this is about. It's about pushing yourself to be better than where you were yesterday, so you can get where you want to go. Because this is not going to be handed to you. You got to work and got to show up every day, and you got to put the effort. I fixed my hair like 10 times. Okay, the last reason as to why you are not seeing progress in your fitness goals is because you are not pushing hard enough, right? If you go in and you expect to have everything just beautiful laid out for you, some people just don't really seem to understand or grasp that concept. You don't need all this fancy equipment that so many people have nowadays with the gym and all these sort of things. And in fact, it's such a turn off to go to gym. It's so pretty because it's like you don't want to work out there or train there. But you really have to push yourself. That's a given, right? You got to actually do the work. You got to actually show up and put that effort. It's no different than if you're trying to form a friendship, right? You want to be friends with Sally, you got to show her that you're genuinely interested in Sally. You're going to ask Sally, what is her favorite color? What does she like to eat? What does she like to do at 4 p.m. on a Sunday? What's her favorite sports, right? You have to have a genuine interest in Sally in order for that relationship and that friendship to flourish, right? If you don't invest in that relationship and you expect to get something good out of that, it's not going to happen. It's no different than with your fitness and with your nutrition and with your health. You cannot expect to have this beautiful health, beautiful physique, whatever, if you give it 70%. It just doesn't work that way. So you have to push and push hard, but not push so hard to the point where you are stressed out. Because there's some people, I see a lot of women, in things like Orange Theory fitness. They push too hard in Orange Theory, they work out too much, they eat too little, and next thing you know, their cortisol levels are super high. Muscle protein synthesis isn't working, it ain't happening, nothing's growing, nothing's flowing, everything's just going down the drain because they're putting themselves to, working themselves to death almost. And you won't see progress that way. Push enough, but just about enough to trigger a stimulus, to trigger a stress response for you to see progress. I think the most important thing to focus on, I think is important in anything in life, so be careful who you surround yourself with, because you are who you surround yourself with. If you surround yourself with people that suck, you too are gonna suck. So if you wanna be a winner, you gotta think like a winner, act like a winner, and be with winners. Hopefully that was useful. Check out my other stuff for more. I'm gonna write about this on my blog, and email me if you have any questions for training. If you want a custom program, feel free to email me, and I'll see you in the next video.